Disenchantment. Despite the name of the animated series, viewers least wanted to experience this feeling while watching it.
Especially fans of Matt Groening's work, who gave the world Futurama and The Simpsons. His iconic cartoons are known all over the world, and perhaps too many expectations were placed on the new one.
But why didn't the third show in a row shoot as powerfully as the previous two? And why was the recently released third season even more disappointing?
Let's find out.
The first thing worth talking about is those expectations from both viewers and creators.
While watching the entire show, it seems like it's some kind of experiment to understand what the viewer likes the most. In every season, there's the same mistake. At the beginning, there is a certain plot about the characters in order to better understand what they are. Then, when the plot should develop, the episodes become fillers.
Oh yeah. The plot jumps from one story to another. In the process, the characters drink, use drugs, and in general, spend their time ineptly. And only when something similar to the main plot appears in the last episode of the season does it turn into a cliffhanger.
For example, the first season, at the very beginning we were told about the main trio of the entire series, who are so much like Futurama.
We hear the stories of Bean, Lucy, and Elfo, how they met. And we are clearly looking forward to the beginning of some kind of global quest with humorous moments.
But what happens? Starting with the third episode, the thread of the plot is lost somewhere until the 8th episode, and the last 3 episodes reveal a new plot. The drama begins and then ends abruptly.
I agree with you. There was a cross-cutting plot, there were jokes, and this did not produce the effect of surprise. Many fans had mixed feelings after watching it because they didn't know what to call it.
What's even sadder, Season 2 and Season 3 make exactly the same mistake. In Season 2, from the moment our heroes return back to Dreamland, the episodes are just fillers right up to Episode 9, when the scientist appears and Bean leaves with him to Steamland.
And in the third season, it is not even clear what the main threat is for the heroes. From series to series, they confront Dagmar, then the owner of the Steamland Company, then the king's advisors.
And again, the same thing. Hallucinations from drugs, the characters seem to change except they don't, and what was that love line of Bean and the mermaid for? Bean forgot about her half an episode later right until the end of the season. One of the most unnecessary storylines ever.
And again, a cliffhanger where the king is taken to a psychiatric hospital. Dagmar makes Queen Bean the bride of some dark, incomprehensible character. Ugh, couldn't we get a little more of that and not just make this twist a promise of Season 4? But these are not the only gaps the show has. The world itself in which the heroes exist. A castle, a forest, dungeons, races, elves, gnomes, griffins, and everything that belongs to the world is rather stereotyped.
It is clear that the authors did not intend to concentrate on fantasy elements, and this is just a background, but still, there are no original ideas there. Or is it not as bad as we think it is, Mr. Scoffer?
It's not just about the fantasy background, Mr. Fullylover. Even the behavior of the characters is secondary. They all resemble someone, as if they were copied from a template.
Maybe the creators just wanted to mock common character types in fantasy?
No, I mean something else. Look at Bean. She's a wayward woman who wants to decide for herself what to do in life, and is always ready to stand up for a just cause. The demon, Lucy, is the embodiment of vice, always choosing the most antisocial and daring decision. He is independent, cynical, and apathetic. And Elfo, who is very naive, found himself in a foreign world for him, trustingly runs towards anything. Doesn't that remind you of anyone?
Didn't you just describe the main Futurama characters?
That's what I'm talking about.
It's kind of sad. Didn't even the humor save the day?
Mostly not, because even the jokes are secondary. More often than not, if some kind of setup starts, you know in advance what the punchline is.
Well, all this doesn't sound too rosy. But going back to the very beginning, this show had high expectations to fulfill. So here's a plus for Disenchantment. If you have never seen The Simpsons or Futurama, then you will enjoy this cartoon. If only because there is nothing to compare it to.
The moral of this story is this. In order to not be disappointed, do not have expectations.
It's really ironic that those who watched Disenchantment were really disenchanted. And I'm not ashamed of this joke.
Or maybe this is not a bug, but a trick, so that in the end, if there are expectations from disappointment, people should be disappointed. Double punch!
All right, you win. How did you like this animated series? Did it disappoint you?
Let us know in the comments.
And don't forget to subscribe to Cartoon Junkies.